We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe.
I mean, this is really unbelievable, guys. Kamala Harris takes Donald Trump's no tax for tips and basically shares it as her own idea in front of this Las Vegas crowd. Talk about the desperation of this lying camel toe here.
Oh, no. Including to raise the minimum wage and eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
To destroy Social Security. I am going to leave Social Security. I'm not raising the years. I'm not raising the age. I will be saving Social Security, and I'm going to work it out that there's no tax on Social Security for seniors. I'm also doing no tax on tips. No tax on tips. So waiters, waitresses, caddies, people that drive cars, people that get tips who have been harassed by this government, we're going to have no tax on tips. That's a big thing.
Including to raise the minimum wage and eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
And as if that wasn't enough, she's also trying to steal his idea regarding securing the border, which, as the borders are, you would think that she would have already done that if that was really her true intention. She has completely gaslit America. Now, I got some wild, unbelievable stuff that I'm about to share with you guys, but I gotta ask you one quick question before we get going. Is Michelle Obama really a man? I've been seeing a lot of, different things online, and I don't know if this is just like going viral because it's legitimate, or is this just a rumor?
Gonna tell my kids this was Michelle Obama.
Donald Trump has done it again, guys. In the middle of his speech, he stops suddenly, and what he shows the crowd is absolutely amazing.
Kamala is grossly incompetent and, in my opinion, has a very low IQ. But we'll find out about her IQ during the debate, okay? Let's find out about her IQ. So, we have this great system. I want to show you just one other thing, please. Do you mind putting it up, please? Thank you.
We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making. Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
So you're now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud that exists above us, right?
Well, maybe. The Caribbean nations, island nations, in the Western Hemisphere. That is where the Caribbean is. We are also in the Western Hemisphere. They are our neighbors. I am here, standing here on the northern flank, on the eastern flank, talking about what we have in terms of the eastern flank. I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. Space is exciting. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree that there are things and tools that are available to us to slow this thing down. We will work together and continue to work together to address these issues, to tackle these challenges, and to work together as we continue to work. Do you ban plastic straws? I think we should. Yes. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. It's really difficult to drink out of a paper straw when if you don't gulp it down immediately, it starts to bend. Yes. And then, the little thing catches it. And then, so we got to kind of perfect that one a little bit more. Do you know, a bit of a history lesson. Do you know that
the women's teams were not allowed to have brackets until 2022.
So the United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. AI is kind of a fancy thing. First of all, it's 2 letters. It means artificial intelligence. As a woman, there's a balance to be struck between being tough and being a
So if you listen to Kamala's speeches, you'd never even know that she's been running the country. She's been running the country for 4 years and doing a horrible job. Look at what's happened to our country. We are a failing nation. I hate to say it, we are a failing nation. I wish I didn't have to do this. I wish I didn't have to go and do this. I wish they were great. I wish they'd make our country great, but they're going to destroy our country. You know it, they even know it, and probably they're doing it on purpose. It's hard to believe, but they're probably doing it on purpose. Kamala is working full-time to erase her record of open borders, transgender anything, high energy costs, taxes, interest rates, which are at sky levels, rising crime rates, and wars all over the world. We're at wars all over the world. You know, when I left, we had nothing. We had no wars. The world respected your country. We had no wars.
The media is treating Kamala like she's vulnerable and needs protection, because she does. She's on a tight leash. They make her read the same speech twice in a row. Watch this.
It really is good to be back in Wisconsin.
It is so good to be back in Michigan.
Listen, let me tell you, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state.
And listen, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state.
I took on perpetrators of all kinds.
I took on perpetrators of all kinds.
And had a summer job at McDonald's. I had a summer job at McDonald's. So hear me when I say,
So hear me, Detroit, when I say,
I know Donald Trump's type.
I know Donald Trump's type.
And are we ready to fight for it?
And are we ready to fight for it?
And when we fight, we win!
Kamala's plagiarizing herself and Trump. I thought fight, fight, fight was his line.
And she finally spoke to reporters, us, on the tarmac in Michigan shortly after Trump's press conference.
Glad that he's finally agreed to a debate. I'm looking forward to it, and hope he shows up.
Are you open to more debate?
I am happy to have that conversation about an additional debate for after September 10th.
When you're going to sit down for your first interview since being the nominee, do you have any update on that?
I've talked to my team. I want us to get an interview scheduled before the end of the month.
Trump in this press conference, guys, was trying to prove that he is the most transparent candidate, that he is the most accessible candidate, trying to paint the split screen with him and Kamala Harris, and really trying to put this pressure campaign on her to face the cameras, because he believes that that is her number one weakness. I think a campaign official yesterday told me that Biden's weakness was walking, hers is talking. So that is the strategy here, trying to get her to face the cameras. He also yesterday addressed reporting that he's been frustrated with his campaign, as new polling shows that Harris has taken a small lead. But the Trump team is calling that a honeymoon period that will go away as soon as she opens her mouth.
She's not doing any news conference. You know why she's not doing it? Because she can't do a news conference. She doesn't know how to do a news conference. She's not smart enough to do a news conference.
Trump spent today at a private fundraiser in Wyoming. He's raising money after last night's campaign rally in Deep Red, Montana, to help flip a key Senate seat there. Meantime, Vice President Harris and her running mate, Tim Walz, are about to leave Arizona for a rally in Nevada, the final stop in this week's battleground tour with the new Democratic ticket. Grady Trimble is standing by in Las Vegas with more for us. Grady.
John, good evening. Several of the events this week with Vice President Harris and Governor Walz have been interrupted by pro-Palestinian protesters. It's really shining a light on this issue and how it could play a role in the November election within the Democratic Party. And to that end, we just heard from Vice President Kamala Harris in some impromptu remarks. She's still in Arizona after a campaign rally there yesterday before she makes her way here to Vegas. And here's what she said when she was asked about Israel's strike in Gaza.
That's the yet again, there are far too many civilians who've been killed. I mean, Israel has a right to go after the terrorists that are Hamas. But as I have said many, many times, they also have, I believe, an important responsibility to avoid civilian casualties.
After that, Harris reiterated the need for a hostage deal and once again called for a ceasefire. Out here in the West, Harris has tweaked her stump speech a little bit to focus on immigration issues. It's a big challenge for her out here as she tries to convince voters that she'll be tough on immigration, which of course is a key issue in these Sunbelt swing states that of course are either on the border or, in the case of Nevada, very close to it. The Harris campaign is out with a new ad saying she'll take care of the border despite record numbers of illegal immigrants crossing into the U.S. under the Biden-Harris administration. Here she is in Arizona saying that she can solve the problem.
We know our immigration system is broken, and we know what it takes to fix it. But Donald Trump does not want to fix this problem. He talks a big game about border security, but he does not walk the walk.
Former President Trump had his own rally in Montana last night. It started a little bit late after airport officials say his plane had mechanical issues, made a forced landing in Billings, Montana. Once he eventually took the stage in Bozeman, Montana, the former president hammered Harris for her role in the border crisis.
She was the border czar. Now she doesn't say she's the border czar. She said, I was never the border czar. I mean, everything they did, she's taking away now. But she was the border czar. She was the worst border czar in the history of the world.
I just want to take a second and thank you guys so much for always hitting the like button for the video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And if you want to take it a step further, there's a join button down below. I totally appreciate all of you guys for subscribing to the channel, for becoming members of the channel. It is totally not required to become a member, but we totally always do appreciate you guys' support 100%. You guys allow us to continue to do what we do here for you guys.